Alright, Niners, so over on my community section, I did ask you guys the question, how do you feel about the new end-of-year characters for the year 2023? In this case, we've got a new ICHIGO, YHWACH, and surprisingly, a new Orihime. We did get over 173 comments, which we'll try and look at all in this video. I did already get a quick glimpse at the comments and see how people are feeling, and the general conscious is that it's a really exciting banner. I think most people are very happy with the character choice here and how they do play. YHWACH and ICHIGO are some of the most broken characters in the game, and I would say without a doubt, the best characters in the game. And that doesn't just include power level. I'm talking about how they actually play. They're very unique. They look fun. I can't wait to get my hands on both ICHIGO and YHWACH, and I feel like these two characters deserve it. I know ICHIGO gets a lot of great characters. He's going to continue to get more great characters, but as far as 1000-Year Blood War anime characters go, this is technically our first true Shikai post-training at the Soul Palace, and it really does feel like that with how broken he actually is in-game, especially with that new SA3 that looks really fun to play around with. YHWACH, for his third character in-game but first playable SP character, looks amazing, especially with his new defeat rampage gauge bonus that he has going on for him. Visually, the character looks great too. He looks amazing. He's a mind character, a character we've been desperately needing. Can't wait to get him. And then Orihime is the kind of like the dark horse of the banner, right? I think everyone would agree that Orihime does feel like the odd one out. And while technically these three as a banner kind of makes sense, it's a way, a prelude to their battle, which we are going to see in core 3 or 4. Like, the character choicing makes sense. But it also does feel weird because this isn't Orihime from Season 2 like it is for ICHIGO and YHWACH. It's Orihime from Episode 1. And she even has the same background as the other Concord characters, ICHIGO, Uryu, and also Chad, which I really like, by the way. I actually do like that they've done that. It's not like I'm super excited about her, but I do like what she offers into the game in terms of how broken she is going to be in Brave battles. And I just love the fact that they finally did include Orihime. It felt very weird and disappointing to a certain extent for our first 1000-Year Blood War anime banner. ICHIGO, Chad, and Uryu were great characters. The presentation was great, the banner was great, but the lack of Orihime was a tad bit disappointing. So I'm liking that they did finally include her. Maybe now was the best time, I don't know. I don't think there was ever going to be a good time to ever include it in any banner. This is probably the best case scenario. Glad she's now out of the way, and at the same time, she kind of took the bullet. This banner easily could have just been ICHIGO and YHWACH, and one of them could have been a Brave Battle character. But at the same time, I'd be lying if I didn't say I would have preferred Yamamoto as the third character. But then again, one of the characters would have had to be a Brave Battle character, so yeah, I think this is probably best case scenario. But that's my opinion. Let's see what you guys have to say in regards to the 3 new characters. Alright, so first up, Ornax says, feels pretty cool, especially Orihime. Her last 1000-Year Blood War version looked a lot better though. Can't wait for Shinsui and Uetsu to get new 1000-Year Blood War versions. I agree with that. I'm excited to see what they will do with a new Uetsu, especially given the fact that the last one was a no attack damage character. A good one at that, but I'd love to actually play with an SP Uetsu. And Shinsui, man, what has Shinsui done? What has Shinsui fans done to not get a new character in over 2 years? Shinsui doesn't do anything in 1000-Year Blood War for quite some time, so I'm really hoping they include him in some type of Core 1 banner, maybe with Robert. I think that would actually make for a pretty good mid-run banner. Eric says, nothing but positive feelings. The animations look so good, and I can't wait to summon. I'm the same. Ryan says, I'm happy that we finally got the Orihime, but it's kind of weird that we got Season 1 Orihime with Season 2 ICHIGO and YHWACH. The skills are looking pretty good, and I can't wait to summon for them. Again, I think a lot of people are going to share the same opinion about that. I don't think anyone's really disappointed and saddened that Orihime got included. Like, it's not that big of a deal, but it does feel weird. It does feel weird. Even if, again, like I said at the start, if the 3 characters being together makes sense, it kind of does, but it also does feel weird to have 2 Season 2 characters and 1 Season 1. Does this mean that we're going to get a mixed match in other banners? Maybe like get like a Season 2 character alongside Season 1 characters. I wouldn't be opposed to it, but I feel like this might just be a one-off. I think any future banner for 1000-Year Blood War is going to be either strictly Core 1 and strictly Core 2, and eventually 3 and 4 when we do get to those. I don't think they're going to do too many combined banners characters from Core 1 and also 2, but I guess we have to wait and see. James says that units look awesome. Loving the new mechanic and the animations. Orihime has me excited based on the background. It looks like she's finally getting the first 1000-Year Blood War background with the other 3 main characters going. Also good to see Orihime fans on YouTube. Not sure why she gets so much hate all the time. I agree. Again, I understand why people are complaining about Orihime. She's the odd one out. It felt weird. I don't mind it though. I like it. And again, I'm kind of looking, and I'm weirdly enough looking forward to Orihime being a Brave Battle broken character, the best Brave Battle character in the game. Who would have thought that? Again, I said it multiple times. If you told me Esno would have been a mid-month character in 2023, if you told me Iban was going to be an end-of-month character in 2023, if you told me White was going to be an anniversary character and Orihime would be the best character in Brave Battles, I would not believe you. But here we are. here we are. And this one's not too much of a bigger deal, but I kind of like that we finally have females usable in Brave Battles. Like, let's be honest, the last X amount of Brave Battle characters has just been all captains, so it's nice to get a bit of diversity. This time another human, Chad's another human too. That's one of the good things about Orihime, is that no one's really ever going to have killer against her. But since she is a technique character, I expect the next broken Brave Battle character to be a power character, and who also has a power ability. Meninas, that would be cool to get another female Brave Battle character, this time a Quincy Sternritter. That would shape up the meta, and her being power and a Brave Battle character to me kind of just makes sense. Is that guaranteed to happen? Probably not, but I am kind of hoping that the next Brave Battle character that counter Orihime is going to be Meninas. That Harlem says this was totally what I expected. What we all expected, with the exception of Orihime as the character choice. Should look amazing so far though. With the new skill, she's a perfect contender for Partial Moto, and also including a team up. I don't have Oko, so she's a perfect trade-off. And what can we say about the other two? YHWACH and ICHIGO is exactly what we were thinking. We might see the other comment later down below. I think some people were a bit disappointed that it was predictable, but that's just how it is, right? Like, we knew it was the best case scenario, right? There's nothing more hype that you can do an end of year banner on for right now other than ICHIGO and YHWACH. So I don't think anyone was surprised that they were included. I think the surprise came from the season 2 aspect. I know some people were expecting that. Some were expecting season 1. Some might have preferred season 1 ICHIGO and YHWACH. I'm potentially in that camp too. But I was still relatively surprised. And, you know, I like being surprised that Orihime was a toss-up. Came out of nowhere, but I'm kind of for it again. Next up, we have Malik saying that love all 3 units. Been waiting and hoping for years to have a broken, true Shikai Ichigo. And it's especially exciting to have a playable YHWACH. As well as it is to have Orihime in the banner, I'm glad she was included to complete the set with round 16. Going all in, 4K orbs in a dream. That basically sums it up, I think, for a lot of people. We got the 2 things we wanted, a broken true Shikai Ichigo alongside YHWACH, and Orihime being there just completes the banner, something that was missing when round 16 first came out over a year ago. Big Orihime fan, so this is sick. I was really hoping for Protect Soul side Ichigo, but YHWACH strong attacks are exactly what I thought they'd be, and I couldn't be happy with how it turned out. Yeah, same, honestly. Going with YHWACH strong attacks though, man, do they look great. They look so good, and I love just, you know, comparing the old YHWACH to the new YHWACH, how different the visuals look, but it's also really cool to see how they turned a strong attack that we've already had in the game to a completely different attack. I believe, don't quote me on this, YHWACH's SC2 is Zankto Swinger. It's one of them. It's one of the Zanks. And it was a cool strong attack too that he did have in his original version back in 2018, but the attack itself is bad. Now it's a tracking vortex, and it looks sick. It looks so good. I'm gassed. I'm excited. Frostbite says he's hyped. I'm glad there is Orihime. Can't wait to summon. Squid is saying that they're cool. Kind of wish they would do versions of characters they haven't done just yet, like uncompleted 4-bring Ichigo, or the complete one. They could also do something out of left field and make some type of weird tag character like Ruki and Renji, and or an Ichigo and YHWACH. I'd be down for that. Something unpredictable, again, for the end of year banner would have been also super exciting. I don't mind we got exactly what we were kind of thinking about, but I do like the idea of tag team characters. Are we ever going to get them again? I don't know. I don't know. But Jump Pussy, again, we have uploaded on the channel, did do a tag team Ruki and Renji, and that was kind of cool. Would like to see BBS do that one day too. Anyway, Pink says, as a Hime fan, I'm excited. Also, if you told me Hime would be OP in Brave Belts, I would never believe you. I'm the exact same. Like, we are in the weirdest timeline. It's so funny. But again, it's nice. It's different. It's different. Brave Belts has literally just been captains for basically the last, basically since 2018 when Unohana got first introduced. Ever since she came out into the game, the Brave Battle meta, majority of the time, and it's still kind of the same right now. Maybe that's going to change in 2024. It's just captains. It's literally just captains. It's always the same type of characters. So I'm really excited for a new introduction into the Brave Battle meta, that being a Orihime, a human Orihime, and hopefully more stun rates to follow too, right? Frost says here, I believe the introduction of the new Strong Attack 3 for Ichigo and the new compounding effect for YHWACH Gauge are both excellent additions and make them 2 of the best characters in the game. However, I'm quite disappointed that we didn't get a new Yamamoto to run up the set, because I feel like we've been waiting for a while for him to come into the game as we move on to the core 2 characters in 2024. Maybe that's a hot take too. I know it's kind of like 50-50, right? I know, and I'm part of the same team, I want a new 1000-Year Blood War Yamamoto. I know we have 3 1000-Year Blood War Yamamotos in the game, but again, they're manga characters. I want a new Yama in his Bankai. That's not the past version. That's a great addition. I like him. But I want a 1000-Year Blood War Yamamoto from episode 7, his fight against Shua in the anime colors, and a broken SP character. Maybe Caleb realized that now's not the best time to do it. There's always and definitely a possibility we could get that in the future, and I'm still hoping for that. And I agree that Yama being there as the third character would have rounded up the banner better. So all we can do is hope. But I know there are a lot of people out there that don't care about a new Yama. We've gotten plenty. And that's also fair. But who knows, maybe Caleb are waiting for 9th Annie Part 2 to bring another Yama. It's been a yearly tradition at this point. The 2 guarantees for any anniversary: Part 1, a new Ichigo; Part 2, a new Yama. Maybe we'll get another 1000-year Blood War Yamamoto for Part 2 of the 9th anniversary. Jose says, I'm more excited for this year's end of year banner compared to last year's Safui banner, but I'd honestly be a little more happier had they done Hime's design from Core 2. I agree with the Core 2, I prefer Orihime's new design. I mean, who doesn't? But we're gonna get that in the future. I would prefer that one to be an SP character in my opinion, and at least now when it comes to her new design, she hasn't done anything with that to warrant a new character just yet. At least episode 1, Orihime matches with the other Concord characters, so I don't mind it. But going back to the Safui banner of last year, yeah, I way prefer this. You know, last year's Safui banner honestly wasn't that bad, and I tried to make the lack of 1000-year Blood War not really impact or hurt my excitement that I had for a Safui banner, because, you know, original characters are cool, those characters' designs are really good. I don't think they aged the best. You know, compared to this year, these 3 characters are absolutely broken. No comparison in terms of power level for this year compared to last year. But last year's banner, the fact that we had like 3-4 months of no 1000-year Blood War was super disappointing, especially given the fact that the reveal happened on the same day the last 2 episodes of Core 1 came out. Yeah, that sucked. Had we known at the time that it takes Caleb upwards to 6 months to plan ahead and make characters, it maybe would have hurt a tad bit less, but a lot of us did trick ourselves into thinking we were going to get a 1000-year Blood War, and then we had Safui, and if it was cool banner, it was still a tad bit disappointing. Royne says the banner overall is good, especially when they add a new PvP version of Orihime, so that wasn't expected. Ichigo feels good, the Yuha with the new gauge is crazy. This end of year banner is pretty good, 100% summoning, as I would recommend to most which should summon on this banner. It's even this support selection. What else are you saving for? I'm hyped for them and love the choices. Orihime is a bit of an odd one since she is the brave out character. I don't really care. My only complaint is that we got another true Shikai Ichigo since we just had one for the anniversary. I was hoping for 4 bring Bankai, so it's a bit odd. However, animation and gameplay makes these units look amazing, and I can't wait to get them when they drop. I'm able to get to 5,500 orbs, so I'm excited. To be fair though, depending how you look at it, I think a new true Shikai Ichigo isn't too surprising. I mean, we knew it was going to come eventually, right? Maybe not this soon, but we knew we were going to get one. Part 1 of the anniversary was Ichigo unlocking his new blades. The whole theming of the first part of the 8th anniversary was Ichigo's origins. The theme itself was Blade of Origins, right? And that's why they included white. That was the source of Ichigo's power. And then Ichigo, the new 8th anniversary character, was his newfound power, his understanding, his acceptance of his new powers, and of course also white and Zangetsu. Obviously, this new Ichigo is completely different. It's now him post-training at the Soul Palace. He has his Getsugu Jujisho. And me personally, I can't, even though it is 2 true Shikai Ichigos, they both have very similar looking attacks in terms of the yellow, you know, aura attacks. But I think they did a good job making them both look different. Not only are both of their animations great, even though they are just using yellow slash attacks, right? You know, the new true Shikai Ichigo has the advantage of having Getsugu Jujisho, but they also play differently too. Like, this new Ichigo looks to be an absolute powerhouse, massive DPS, fast, playable character, whereas the other Ichigo, the 8th anniversary one, is a bit of a slower character. He's an auto character for me, and that's what he's best at, and no one still to this day competes with him. So they play differently, so I don't really mind that we got another true Shikai. Pretty much hyped. I am happy for Ichigo's wifey recognition. This is so fantastic. Ichigo and Yuha, my contemplating, heartful admiration. Great characters. It's just weird seeing Orihime in her casual clothes being the brave battle character. It's just funny to me, but finally a playable Yuha is clutch. That is also true, right? Especially, obviously, in the game, it doesn't have to make sense. But the idea of a base Orihime now being more powerful than almighty Yuha, Yamamoto in its prime, it's goofy, it's funny, it's exactly what you expect in the game. It's pretty cool. VC saying, can't believe we actually have characters with 4 strong attacks and 2 soul bombs. Love the 3 new mechanics, good functionality in the game and fun to use. Really happy to get a new OP version of True Shikai Ichigo and Yuha, especially because this time they're both SP characters. The visuals and movesets truly do them justice. The one small change I have made is Yuha's no affiliation killer just because of Anniversary Y. Sure, another Quincy instead of Orihime would have been a tad bit more hype, but I'm fine with it, especially since she's the brave power character. I'd rather get PvE versions for more hype characters. And you know, now that you mention it, it's kind of funny when you point out the fact that, yeah, Ichigo basically does have 4 strong attacks. It's literally 2 SA3s in 1. And then, yeah, you having 2 soul bombs is still crazy, even if it's only really going to be usable in co-op content, and of course, also Limit Breaker. You can't abuse this new soul bomb ability in Guild Quest content, unfortunately, but still, we have seen characters get multiple soul bombs, more so only in Arena. Surprised it took them this long to get it outside of Arena, but I do like the way they implemented it, I will say. It might be unpopular opinion, but it's great they decided to include Orihime to fill up the PvP slot, because if not, it would have been either Ichigo, Yama, or Yuha, who had pretty recent PvP units. And that's why, when, I made my prediction video, I was quite confident that Ichigo was going to be the Brave Battle character, because if it was these three characters, Yama, Yuha, Ichigo, Yama and Yuha already got a Brave Battle character. By default, it has to be Ichigo. So yeah, I also agree that, Orihime taking one for the team, I think is probably for the best. Sonoki saying finally having an SP Yuha, and a good one at that, is great. Getting another true strikeout Ichigo so soon is a bit iffy, but he seems really good and fun, so we'll take it. Hime being the PvP character is a perfect choice, because good lord, I would never use it anywhere else. Fair enough, fair enough. Benjamin saying nobody was going to pull for a Season 1 Orihime this later after the initial release, so making her a broken Brave Battle character was a smart move. I love the banner overall, going to be doing 25 steps and guaranteeing the new Ichigo. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. A character like Orihime, she's popular. She will sell regardless, right? Let's be honest. But yeah, Orihime is definitely going to go down the route as a Brave Battle character or a farming character, especially when paired with the other two, bigger names. Bigger characters, Yuha and Ichigo. Obviously, in this case, she went down the Brave Battle route. But hopefully, in the future, when we do get a new Orihime, a 1000-year Blood one, she gets a broken SP character, because I'm kind of for that. I want it. I don't know how they would make that work, but I'd be excited to see it. With that said, though, let's just scroll down. Again, it seems like most people are under the same, opinion that they kind of look exciting. Like Craig saying here, I can't decide fully until I see the fillers, but if the fillers are good, they think they're going to summon the banner. Trying to Get Good says the only ones who are disappointed is because of Orihime, but other than that, it's definitely a must-summon banner. You have the best Brave Battle character, the best character in the whole game, and potentially the best Guild Quest character, and then also the best Limit Breaker character. What else could you ask for? Exactly. Especially given the fact that two of the three characters are some of the more cooler looking characters in the game, a new Yuha and new True Shikai Ichigo. Garrison, at least they could have given Orihime a new background. Giving her the Concord banner feels so awkward and screams, I'm not supposed to be here, but I should have been on the other banner. I mean, that's kind of the point, to be fair. I actually kind of prefer and actually like that they give her the Concord backgrounds, because that's where she's set from, right? If she didn't have the same background, then it would have felt more out of place, so that kind of makes sense. But Garrett does say, I'm glad that Orihime is the PvP unit. It's always a bummer seeing core and limited character get wasted on PvP, such as Yuha and Ichibe. Again, I agree. There's a lot of saying that alright, I personally would have preferred a Bankai Fullbring Ichigo when he fought Yuha, since that form was one of my favorites and should get a remake, and I definitely agree with that. Maybe sometime in 2024, there's still a chance, right? We can hope. Ryan saying, can't say I'm disappointed by the characters, but definitely think Orihime was a last minute addition since they needed to add her and couldn't think of any other banner, so they just slapped her on the end of the year. Also can't say I'm too hyped, mainly due to the fact that it was massively predictable, and that's kind of true, but again, I don't think the fact that it being predictable is a bad thing, but I guess some people do like to be surprised, right? For me, the surprise was Orihime. Not sure it was a good or massive surprise, but it was a surprise nonetheless. Some random savage saying Ichigo should have been a ranged Quincy Sternritter. I also kind of agree with that. I do like that he is a mini character. It's kind of cool, but he also does directly compete with Ichibe, who came out literally a month ago, which kind of sucks, at least when it comes to Guild Quest content. I hope the SA3 actually works in GQ and doesn't get nerfed. I think by that, for those that don't know what he's referring to, is that during the transition part for each round in Guild Quest, if you're charging a strong attack free, it actually gets cancelled. So the hope here would be that you can actually use your SA3 on a boss, take them down, and still continue to charge it as you go into the next wave. If that actually happens, that'll be really good. If not, it'll kind of suck, but it's still going to be a good strong attack nonetheless. Random Savage then says, you should have been given different killers. And I'm also divided on this new Rampage. Is it enough to make him better than Yachi's Rampage, for example? And I think it's definitely different. Traditional Rampage as a skill is good as is, right? 100% more damage. I guess in the future, you could get Rampage and also this new defeat enemy bonus thing that Yuha has going on for him. I do like it. I think it's different. And the good thing about that, too, is that it's a new way, kind of like the gauge effect, right? It's a new way for them to add skills on characters. The next character that gets this new defeat enemy bonus that Yuha has, it's going to be completely different. It doesn't have to be the exact same. Yuha right now is getting more damage in his strong attacks, his soul bomb, and of course getting a second soul bomb, but maybe in the future a character might pick up long stride, maybe pick up poise, a different skill. I'm not too sure what that could be. But it definitely spices up how different these new type of Rampage characters can be. As for Yuha's killers, I like the Holo Killer. I do think he needed the Holo Killer in my opinion. Right now, the only other good character is Nini. She's not like that amazing. I like that Yuha is now replacing her. But yeah, no affiliation. We could have went with a different killer. We could have definitely went with a different one. I don't mind it, but I would have been more hyped for Yuha And I'm already hyped, keep that in mind, but I would have been more excited had he maybe had something else. I'm not sure what that could have been. Maybe a Ronka? I don't really know, but I don't really mind the no affiliation killer all that much. I think I would have preferred Season 1 characters in this situation. I also feel like Ime should have been in a different banner. Again, we all kind of agree with Orihime, right? We spoke about it a lot in this video. If they can't do a 4-character banner, there's no other good banner for Hime to get included in. Like, there's really not. Unless they wanted to do a banner with Ryunosuke and Shino, which, you know, in of itself wouldn't be that exciting. This is basically like the only time they can include Orihime, right? Because in any other situation, she would have felt out of place. She, of course, should have been a 4-character banner with round 16, but they didn't do that. They didn't do that. Big Tony saying overall a 9 out of 10. Love the characters, animations, and also gameplay. Only downside is Ichigo is another hot character when we already have 3 and Yuha's on the die. Yuha's model definitely does look a bit... looks different. It looks different. Renora saying I'm happy with the banner, but the one thing I'm mad about is that we got yet another hot Ichigo. Was hoping for him to be a speed, since the only good speed Ichigo to exist is Spirit Society, and also the New Year one if you want to count him. In terms of, you know, broken OP Ichigos, none of those count, right? And I kind of agree. Had Ichigo been a speed character, for Ichigo, it would have been good. For the overarching game, it would have been worse. Speed is absolutely stacked. We do not need another speed character. To a certain extent, we also don't need another heart character. I wouldn't have minded if Ichigo was a power character, but yeah, I think the reason why he wasn't speed is because speed is already stacked as is. You know, going into this end of year banner, I was expecting the speed character, or a technique character if we were to get one, to be the Brave Battle one, and it ended up being a technique Brave Battle character. Solo saying that, man, theme is so important for these big banners, and the Orihime isn't understandable, but odd one out. You are Sobom sitting Ichibe's beards? Question mark. But it's okay, since these Yuha makes me feel like they're saving some stuff for new Yuha. I will say, when actually looking at the anime and comparing it to the actual game Sobom itself, it is very weird they chose that attack to be the Sobom, but I will say, it looks way better in BBS. Like, it actually feels like a Sobom attack. When I first saw it, I was like, hold on, is that Ashwelin? Because it looked good. It looked way better than how it was, you know, treated in the anime. Just continuing scrolling down to see some different comments. In this case, Joro says it's gas. However, I'm beyond disappointed that no one in the banner got Flurry or Frenzy free. I thought since it's end of year it would be done, but also Ichigo didn't get a normal status element infliction chance, which is also confusing. So, for those that don't know, Ichigo is a different type of character in terms of how he inflicts status elements. It's to his killers. And that's, in a way, the best part about him. Any other character that has an increased chance to inflict status elements only does it to their attribute. Sometimes it's their attribute and killer, both together. But the reason why Ichigo is so exciting in the sense that he only does it to his killers is that he doesn't have to go against mind characters. If he goes against a power character, a tech character, a speed character, if they are a human or Quincy, he's always going to have that increased chance of inflict status elements. And that's most important in Guild Quest content. You put him in Guild Quest, this character is literally guaranteed to inflict status elements, where he then does like 150% more damage. It's absolutely insane. The lack of a Flurry character to me is kind of whatever. Again, I don't like them. If you're a Flurry character, I'd rather you honestly be a Brave Battle character, because at that point I can still use you daily. Flurry PvE characters like, you know, Felton, Brother Aizen, they're good, you know, but they're never as good as an SP character. So, and I really do like that this banner give us 2 broken SP characters. As for Frenzy Free right now isn't even that good, I'll be honest. Like, it's not that good. The only character to have Frenzy Free in the game right now is, of course, 8th Anniversary Ichigo. And the reason why it works so with him is because, again, he's kind of designed to be an auto god. His Frenzy Free works with his kit because he wants to inflict status elements, weakening, and of course also drain. That's why it works for him. Frenzy 2 and SP Boost, for those that aren't aware, is way better than Frenzy Free. No competition. So the lack of Frenzy Free honestly isn't that big of a deal. It's actually better this way. And the only other characters I want to see get Frenzy Free in the future are those that are similar to Ichigo, 8th Anniversary, that is designed to auto content, or Frenzy Free and also SP Boost. But I think we're a while off that before that becomes a normal thing. Maybe 9th Anniversary. Dark Slayer saying, I prefer Core 1 Ichigo with the black Getuka Tensho. I kind of agree. I would have loved to see that in game, especially because we haven't had it yet. They also could have made True Shikai Ichigo later, since Ichigo is wearing the same outfit and Core 2 and 3 as well. No complaints with you on Orihime. Still hope to get Unohana vs Kenpachi though. We can probably scratch that off though. I don't see us getting an Unohana vs Kenpachi banner, although I wouldn't be opposed to it. But since Unohana takes elements from the fight with Kenpachi in her Soul Bomb and also attacks, I don't see us getting a Core 1 Kenpachi. I think they're saving Kenpachi for Core 2, when of course he does activate his Shikai. Mr. Blue Pants saying, this Orihime was long time coming ever since the first 1000 Year Blood War anime banner. I'm happy True Shikai and Base You are getting a remake, they kinda needed it. However, I also do think it's yet another mismatched banner where characters don't make sense together. Case in point, Orihime. And also, true Shikai Ichigo never fought this version of Yuha, but instead the almighty version. Also, where is our 1000-year Blood War Fullbring Bankai Ichigo? Yeah, it's definitely true this Ichigo doesn't actually fight Yuha. I always thought this Ichigo be included with a Candice, because they're the ones that fight against each other. But again, my main one for this end of year banner was an Ichigo and Yuha banner, and we got it one way, shape, or form, so I don't really mind it too much. Slime has 34 likes, but it's near the bottom, so I think it got a lot of dislikes. But they do say here, weird mismatch banner, would have preferred a Fullbring Bankai Ichigo and a Season 1 Yuha. That's fair. Orihime should have and could have been in the Concord summons. Should have been a 4-character banner. I agree with that. And this UR should have been in a banner with Ichibe. That's also kind of true, right? Wanted to see another Quincy in this banner as well. Same here. I'm excited to see what potential Quincy they do have next up. Heart Thunderblade saying disappointed as hell with the counter choice, but impressed with their gameplay, especially UR's new Gauge or new Rampage. Kyokushin just actually commented it. I think this end of year banner is pretty lame. It was just an obvious choice aside from Orihime. I think it would have been way more hype to see more Stun Ritters rather than another Ichigo or UR. Their gameplay is cool, but I would love to see something new than just obvious picks. That's the unfortunate thing though. Again, like, it's an end of year banner. We're not going to get a random set of characters for end of year. It's going to be big names. That's why it kind of was predictable, right? I'm also going to be super excited and eagerly looking forward to new characters coming into the game. You know, like Esnot, we got a few months back. I want to also see new Stun Ritters, but imagine we got a Giselle, Meninas, and Bambietta for end of year. That's not that, I mean, I'd be super excited, don't get me wrong. I think a lot of people would too, but that's a normal end of month banner. This end of year banner, especially given the fact of how common 1000-year Blood War is going to be, it needs to be big names and they need to be beyond broken to separate them from any other 1000-year Blood War normal end of month banner. And that's why, again, it was predictable. It's Ichigo and Yuha, but I think that was the best case scenario. Well, with that said, lads, that was the video for today. I definitely went on long enough, but we just wanted to have a little discussion video today to see what some of you guys have to say. Again, I think most people are definitely in agreement. Like, this is actually a really exciting banner. Ichigo and Yuha look to be both amazing characters. Like, I can't understand how, like, amazing they look. And again, I can't wait to get my hands on them. Orihime, odd one out. I don't mind it. I'm kind of excited for it. She's going to spice up the Brave Battle meta, maybe for the worse. But the idea, again, of a Brave Battle Orihime is kind of cool. She should have been a 4-character banner with, of course, the original Concord banner. It is what it is, though. They didn't do it back then. They should have, but they didn't. Maybe I would have preferred if this banner was a Season 1 Ichigo Yuha Yama. But honestly, with what we did get, I am perfectly happy and satisfied with what we did get. Because, again, these, all 3 characters, even Orihime, look great. And considering that it's also a special 1000-year Blood War New Year special, whatever they want to call it, this might be the first time I do 50 steps on a banner. And the idea for this banner might be to try and get all 3 characters 5/5. That's how great they are, that's how fun they look, and that's how much I want them. But I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Definitely is one of the longer videos, but I have fun doing this. I like seeing what you guys have to say. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys next time. Take care, and peace.